What is going on, everybody? This is your man, Big B, along with Big G. This is the big show. Man, we got a lot to go over, man. We got a lot to go over. So welcome to Steelers Almighty, man. I appreciate everybody being in here like you guys always are. There's a ton of Steelers talk. I don't know if it's real. I don't know if it's fake. We're going to cover as much of it as we possibly can, man. So first thing is, Big G, how you doing today, my man?
Man, I'm lit up right now. We need to get that live chat jumping and lit up. But listen, I already done told you it's cold as hell where I'm at, bro. It's like 11 degrees, -6 wind chill, whatever else. We talking about chili and all that other stuff backstage. Y'all got me hungry. But I'm gonna do the show first. Got to do the show
man.
first. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. I appreciate you being in here. It's crazy here in Dallas. It is freezing cold. It's ice. But you know what? We're going to make it happen tonight. So, I mean, we got a lot to cover. This trade rumors are going berserk in Steelers country. I mean, this is basically the dead period. So when you got the dead period going on, you're going to hear a whole bunch of nonsense going on. We're going to talk about that, our quarterback situation, Higgins contract situation. We're going to talk about that. And then we'll just get into it a little bit as far as the combine, and we always got that crazy ass producer question at the end. So make sure that you guys are around for that. Appreciate y'all, man. Appreciate y'all being in here. First things first, again, remember to like, follow, subscribe, continue to get in that comment section, and as always, hit that notification bell so you know exactly when Steelers Almighty content comes out. Remember, memberships are also available. We got membership content, 5 different levels that you can join. So make sure you guys are signing up if you want to help support the channel in that way. Big G, let's get after this. So trade rumors, my man. Trade rumors. Trevor Lawrence, he came out and addressed the trade rumor that was going around that the Steelers were calling, wanting him. And he basically said he didn't know anything about it. It was all made up. He had to be part of it because he's got a no trade clause in his contract. So if he wasn't notified, there damn sure couldn't be anything. I'm not sure that we wanted him anyway. I'm not sure that was the answer. But I'll let you have first stab at this Trevor Lawrence thing.
Well, I do believe that the Pittsburgh Steelers contacted Jacksonville. I do believe that. And I think it was one-sided or one way. It could have been something as simple as Andy Waddle or Omar Khan picked up the phone just to see. Because, when you don't have your quarterback one, you have to turn over every rock trying to do what you need to do. And so I understand and I get it, but to me, it just didn't make sense.
Right.
I mean, when you compare Trevor Lawrence and Justin Fields, it's not too much difference between the two of them. For gameplay on the field, ability to not throw interceptions, wins, ability to not fumble the football. And in my opinion, Trevor Lawrence has digressed over the last 2 seasons. He hasn't not gotten better. So if you look at it comparative Justin between Trevor, you're like, why spend $250 million on a quarterback that shows you he can't be maybe even a quarterback number one? Trevor Lawrence, I know that they extended him and I know that they gave him that big contract, but what has he done? He had a comeback playoff win. Okay, wow. Outside of that, he's played big trash every year. So I wasn't with it. And then for Lawrence to say that was almost like a backhanded comment. It's like he hates the Steelers for whatever reason. He's got some bias and all whatever else in his blood. And I don't care because when we line up and play him, we're going to beat the brake shoes off of him. I don't care because I can't stand Jacksonville. That's one of my sleeper hate teams. So you stay on down there to Jacksonville and with your little trash team, and we'll see you come playoffs, dog. We'll see you come playoffs.
Well, I mean, that's lofty expectations for Jacksonville for them to make the playoffs.
Facts.
My thing is, I don't even know if the Steelers called because I sit here and I think about it for a second. If I'm not mistaken, again, I don't keep up with Jacksonville that much, but I don't think they even have a GM right now, if I'm not mistaken. Chat, y'all can probably help me out, but I don't think they even have a GM. So who the hell would Omar Khan call? Who's he calling, the owner? But either way, I don't think it happened. What I think is that's just somebody throwing some stuff out there. So it probably look. We're all in the content business, so we're trying to generate information. I get it, but
Yeah.
sometimes it's just stupid. And I think this is one of those things. Is it got thrown out there? It wasn't real. And then Trevor Lawrence, I kind of feel bad for Trevor Lawrence, to be honest with you, because he's got to come out and address some stuff that didn't even have anything to do with him.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
well, what the hell is going on? So
Yeah.
I get it, but I'll be quite honest with you. I think Trevor Lawrence is better than Justin Fields, not by a ton. I think it might be a little bit, but if that was the only thing that we were talking about, then okay, fine. But it isn't, because Trevor Lawrence has a gigantic contract that again, I've said it a million times, Big G. These owners got to stop paying for mediocrity. And you decided to pay for mediocrity. Yeah, we don't want no part of that. We don't.
Yeah.
We have enough mediocrity on our own. We don't need to go out and pay big money for mediocrity. So I was all the way out on it. Didn't want it. Didn't like it. And thank God it was just a rumor, because if the Steelers were serious about this, I was going to be furious. But here's another thing that's actually starting to pick up steam that now, again, it's the dead period, but people are starting to bring this up, and it's starting to become more prevalent. I think you might know where I'm going with this, Big G. Aaron Rodgers to Pittsburgh. And I'm like, what are we doing? But
listen, man,
everybody is talking about it, and that's what has me nervous, Big G. Everybody is talking about it. I'm like, no.
They can take a lap with that, dog. There's no way in hell we're getting. Man, Aaron Rodgers is big trash.
Yeah.
He's horrible. He's freaking horrible. He's over the hill. Why in the hell would we bring that dude? And listen, it's not just the fact that his play is horrible. His locker room presence is horrible.
Correct.
He's not a leader. You're not going to be able to bring a quarterback if you made the decision to bring Rodgers in. You're not going to be able to bring a dude in behind him and have him mentor the dude or groom the dude. Aaron Rodgers garbage.
Exactly.
So stop all that, bro. They need to listen. These folks with these unvetted sources, I'm gonna get them. I'm telling you, bro, because I'll be on the streets. You already know that. I'll be on different podcasts and stuff. Let me catch you with an unvetted source, and you out there putting information out. I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna catch you inside the world. Bro. Stop
we
that.
got some members in here talking. Art's baby doll, Justin Watson. They're like, absolutely not. Absolutely not. I'm like, look, and people are saying, well, is he better than what the Steelers have? Here's the thing. Let's just say Aaron Rodgers is a little bit better than what the current Steelers, Russell Wilson or Justin Fields. Let's just say that he is. Okay. But then what all the other nonsense do you have to deal with? And I'm not even talking about being political. I'm just talking about, I don't want to come to minicamp because I want to go to Egypt. I'm going to get on a podcast weekly and I'm going to badmouth my organization. I'm going to do press conferences where I'm badmouthing my teammates if they don't run the right route that I think they should run. Do we want to deal with that? And my answer to that is hell no. Hell no to Aaron Rodgers. I'm sorry, Big G. I can't do it.
Hey, B, listen, it might be a conspiracy because I promise you, if Aaron Rodgers come to Pittsburgh, they're going to fire Mike Tomlin. Mike Tomlin gone, dog. Dog, he ain't going to make it. He's not going to make it with no damn Aaron Rodgers, bro. Aaron Rodgers going to out him every opportunity he gets. You talking about putting an op in the locker room. Ain't no way. Stop it. No. Hell no. Not him. No.
Here's the thing. And our man Justin Watson brings up a good point. This is what me and you have talked about. I've gotten in the comments with Justin before and talked about build up the team and the quarterback will be better. If you can build the team around them and then, okay, maybe this isn't the best quarterback, but maybe they can be better. Look, here's the thing. Look at Jared Goff. If people are going to try to convince me or anybody with real football knowledge, you too, Big G, as far as Jared Goff is some great quarterback. No, he's not. But he's surrounded with an outstanding offensive line, incredible weapons, and he had a crazy offensive coordinator calling plays for him. That made Jared Goff look better than what he was. Does he have talent? Sure, he has talent, but he is not the greatest quarterback in the world running around out there. He's not that. Build your team. Jalen Hurts is the same way. Just won a Super Bowl. Build your team, and we can figure out the quarterback. Now, don't get me wrong. You got to have a quarterback. I'm not saying that, but you got to build the team first. You got to build the team first, man. You just, if you don't have the quarterback, let me just say that. If you don't have the quarterback, you got to build the team first, man. You have to. You have to.
That's what the San Francisco 49ers did. They just missed on the quarterback. They traded up to get Trey Lance because they thought they had they do. They missed, right? And they could have had Justin or whoever else they wanted in that draft. But they've been playing for Super Bowls over the last couple of years. That's what the Kansas City Chiefs did. They had Alex Smith as their quarterback. And they drafted my homeboy because Andy Reid saw something. And they just kept building that roster. And they was like, oh, we can get up off of Alex Smith. Let him go. And they inserted my homeboy, and the rest is history. Because that 53-man roster was beautiful. Like you said, we seen Detroit follow it. Teams is doing it. You're not going to get the quarterback first and then you build that roster, bro. You're absolutely correct.
Right. So let's talk about our quarterback situation, man. Justin Fields, his contract negotiations. I mean, obviously we don't know anything. Here's the thing. Today is what, the 18th. We're going to know on the 10th. That's the first day of the legal tampering that we can find out exactly what's going on. The teams can make deals. We're going to find out immediately what Pittsburgh is doing. The word is that the Steelers met because they finally have their entire coaching staff. So they met today. It was either today or yesterday that they met up to figure out exactly what they want to do. Okay, great. I love it. Well, we're going to find out pretty quickly what the avenue is as far as quarterback is. Justin Fields, Russell Wilson, Aaron Rodgers, or somebody else. You know, we're going to find out pretty quickly. And I'm ready for it because, again, like we just talked about, we have cap space. I think it's like $53 million. And the Steelers can easily, Big G, get to over $70 million in cap space by the time free agency runs around. That's how high we can get this thing if we want to get there. First of all, if we don't do it, it's GM malpractice and Omar Khan should be fired. I'll say that right now. I don't care what anybody says. If we have the opportunity, because all it takes is cutting a few guys and some restructuring. If we don't do that, I'll be the first person to say Omar Khan got to go. Khan, we can get to $70 million and you don't want to do that? And I'm not talking about you have to cut TJ Watt. You don't have to cut Mika Fitzpatrick. You don't have to do those things. Do I think that Mika should take a pay cut? Yeah. Should he restructure it? Yeah. But all you have to do is extend Watt, get rid of Lario, and restructure Minka. You're at over $70 million. And we don't want to do that? Come on, man. We got the room. At some point, somebody got to stand up, Big G, and make the right decision here.
I don't disagree, and where's some other moves? Get Cole Holcomb out of there. Get Nick Herbig out of there. Yeah. Listen, like there's certain dudes you already let Preston Smith go. That was $13 million.
That was easy.
Yeah.
He actually produced a little bit, and you didn't even think about it.
Yeah. You got to clean house. Mike Williams got to come up off the books. It's a whole bunch of dudes that's got to come up off of there, dog. So you saying 70? I was doing a little calculating, and I was looking like, man, shoot, we can mess around and get 80. You know, I ain't mad at them. Yeah.
We got room. Like I said, it's a lot of people get mad when I say this because they don't believe that I'm a real Steeler fan. I've been a Steeler fan for literally as long as I can remember. And the Steeler way just doesn't work in today's NFL with the way that the salary cap works. I'm sorry. Keeping old veterans around too long and letting them just die on the vine with their contracts and paying old guys and not cutting guys because we like them. They're a good guy. They've been a Steeler. Hey, man, that's not how this thing works anymore. And again, that doesn't mean that I'm not a Pittsburgh Steeler diehard. It just means I'm a realist and I live in 2025. And I know 2025 is not the same as 1975. I understand that. And people that don't understand that think that you're not a fan. I'm like, tough decisions got to be made sometimes. That's the way the real world works, and the NFL is the real world, Big G. And we got to get to that 70 million. We got to get to that 70 million mark and then go do some damage. Go throw around some money. Now, the one person that we're not going to be able to get, it appears, is T. Higgins. It looks like T. Higgins is going to stay, that Cincinnati is going to pony up the dough. It looks like they're going to franchise him, and then that they're going to pony up the dough to pay him. But we'll see. But it doesn't look like we can get T. Higgins.
Bro, listen, I do a podcast with a Bengals dude, man. And so, me and him go back and forth and all whatever else. And I'm not one of them Steelers that was just talking about, let's go get T. Higgins. Right? I was looking at the bread. I know what he's going to demand. He's going to demand $30 million. He's going to want $30 million. Listen, he's coming in. The only team that's getting a discount is the Bengals. And they're going to get him like for $27 or $28 million a year. But everybody else, 30. I'm not giving T. Higgins, who's got soft tissue issues, gets hurt every freaking season. I'm not giving him $30 million to come be on wide receiver on Pittsburgh. We got entirely too many holes. You take that money and distribute it to a younger player or better player or a guy that doesn't have injury issues, and or you look at fleecing and flipping that into draft capital. That's how you build your 53-man roster. Paying big bread for a superstar like T. Higgins, who I don't think is necessarily a superstar. No way. I don't want him. I never really wanted T. Not as my number one option. Heck no.
The thing about it, I said the same thing. I think he's really good. There's no doubt, but he's going to miss games. I mean, he's missed games the last 2 years. He's missed 5 games each year. Paying $30 million for that, I'm not with it. Don't get me wrong. He comes in, he would walk in. He's better than George Pickens. He is.
Facts.
He's better than Pickens.
That's facts.
But that doesn't mean that you have to go pay him $30 million. I just wouldn't do that. And I'm a man here who's always comes and supports the channel, says tag to get some time to work out a deal for Higgins. That's exactly what they did. But either way, there's other places. The Steelers don't have one hole. They're not a wide receiver away. Do you need to go spend money? Yes, you got to spend the money. Go spend it. But you also have to spend it wisely, because how many teams have we seen out there that just throws around money and their team still sucks after they spent all that money? Because you didn't build a team. You didn't spend it wisely. The Steelers got to go spend it, but they got to spend it wisely. For instance, there's no huge quarterback out there that they need to go throwing around $40 million a year for. There's nobody out there like that. I go build it from within. I've been talking about it forever. It doesn't look like, there were reports early that the Chiefs were going to sign Trey Smith back. I lived in Kansas City for a while. I know a ton of people there. Chiefs ain't signing Trey Smith back. That's not in their plans. Their plan is to get a left tackle. If Trey Smith is available, because the word on the street today is that the Steelers have no plans to bring back James Daniels.
Yes.
Go sign Trey Smith.
Right.
Right guard, he's phenomenal. Got beat up in the Super Bowl. Don't get me wrong. He got beat up in the Super Bowl, but he's phenomenal. He is a huge upgrade over what the Pittsburgh Steelers have. Go do stuff like that makes sense, and then we can figure some other stuff out, Big G.
B, I'm down. Listen, I'm down with you, bro. But if I'm going to spend bread in free agency, I'm going to get in the trenches, bro. I'm going to make sure my offensive line is straight. I'm going to make sure my defensive line is straight. But skill position, bro, they're going to fleece you. I don't care if it's running back, quarterback, wide receiver, and even, hell, DB. You're going to get fleeced. But they're going to pay. You're going to have to pay big money to get one of those dudes. And sometimes you go after names versus quality of talent. And I'm a firm believer in, that's a name. For example, like Chase Young is out there. There ain't no way in hell I'm giving Chase Young any money to come play for Pittsburgh. I'm not doing it because he doesn't fit the system. He doesn't fit nothing about Pittsburgh. But there's people out there, let's go get Chase Young. No, You
Right.
got to look for fits, and you got to look at, okay, not paying the low, but does this guy actually have a future with Pittsburgh? That's what you do with a free agent because it's going to cost you a contract. Most NFL contracts are 3 to 5 years, so that's going to cost you some money to get the dude unless you sign him with a 1-year deal with an option in it. So, no, you do your investigation. You get a solid free agent. You build them damn trenches with that bread, bro.
Yeah.
Offensive line and defensive line. And then in the draft, that's when you get cheap with skill position. How you think these teams been winning? Most of their players is on rookie deals.
Mm-hmm.
Outside of the Philadelphia Eagles, most of the top team skill position players are rookie dudes, or they wait till a guy gets too long in the tooth, and then they bring him in like how Buffalo brought in Amari Cooper.
Correct.
And Houston went and got Stephon Diggs. Them dudes is almost too long in the tooth, right? And you see they only got them a little short deals. They didn't do no long-term nothing. Stephon Diggs going to be on the street here in a minute. Amari Cooper is for sure going to be on the street. So you don't do that in the skill spot. You spend that $70+ million in them trenches, dog. Get that line right. Get that defensive line right.
See, now Amari Cooper is a guy that I wouldn't mind the Steelers having, but I mean, depending on what he's asking for. If Amari Cooper's asking for $20 million a year, then I'm like, okay, thanks, Amari. But if you're willing to take 15, maybe 18, I would take Amari Cooper for 2 years. The reason being is, look, we got Pickens. What helps Pickens is having somebody on the other side of the field that can get open. Amari Cooper is still a top 10 route runner in the National Football League. He is that. So I wouldn't mind having him. But having said that, I'm not giving him $30 million. Right. I mean, I'm just not doing that, But we got to upgrade the talent, and you can upgrade it there. Like a Stephon Diggs, if he were to come, some people might call him a head case. Okay, still a great route runner. I would take him. He's coming off an injury. Who knows? Maybe you get that guy for a cheap. I've been talking about Darius Slayton. Yeah, I want guys that can just get open. That's what we need. Guys that can get open consistently, not – well, every now and then he gets open and, he's catching 50-50 balls or stuff. No, we need a guy. Look, we hated the move or we hated him on our team, but don't tell Deontay Johnson got open. He just did. He got open. Now, he was a head case and he probably has played himself out of the National Football League at this point.
Fact.
But, quitting on 2 different teams in the same season, that's insane. But having said that, he got open, and we just need a guy that can go get open. That's what I'm looking for. Somebody that can go get open.
B, how many times this last season at the WR did you see the Pittsburgh Steelers run an inside slant and the dude got open?
It wasn't many.
That's right. How many times did you see the running back get through the A gap or the B gap and get tackled after a gain of 5, and you like, man, bro, if he just had one more little acceleration about himself, he could go get to the crib.
Right.
So that's the dudes. People say I'm crazy. Listen, I like Mostert. If we're gonna say, okay, we're gonna bring in some competition at running back, he's got injury prone, but we're gonna get him for the cheap. And listen, if he hits the hole just right, he can get to the house. We need explosive players, as many explosive players as we possibly can get our hands on the offensive side of the ball.
Yeah.
So that's why you spend the bread on the trenches, and you're gonna get the rest in the draft.
Correct.
You're gonna get in the draft.
Correct. Hey, everybody! In case you are wondering, again, thanks for joining Big G and Big B on the Big Show. If you want your question or comment up on the screen, if you're not already a member, remember, Super Chats are wide open. So if you want to help support the channel in that way, we absolutely appreciate it. Thank you guys for that. Man, we got a lot as far as holes to fill in free agency. And the one thing that we don't talk enough about, and people get mad because it's spending money on defense, the Steelers got to get a cornerback too, man. That's the thing. Like, there's cornerbacks available, good ones available in free agency. Now, I know that's going to drive the chat insane, saying, oh, we can't go spend money. You have to. You can't have bad corners. You can't have average corners and go win. That doesn't work. Nobody's winning with average corners. You got to go do it. Now, I'm not saying that you got to go. We got one. Joey Porter Jr. is above average corner. I'm not ready to call him a lockdown or anything like that, but he's above average. But there are guys in free agency, Big G, that the Steelers need to go get. The problem with that is, and why people will get upset, is because we're paying Mika Fitzpatrick $18 million.
Yeah, that's facts.
And then it's like, well, hell, how much money are you going to lock up in the secondary when one of the guys is just playing center field and making sure guys can line up properly? That's where the issue comes in, is that most teams pay a corner that kind of money. The Steelers chose to pay a safety that kind of money, and that's why they got to make a big decision. It's like, we love you, Minka. You got to take a pay cut or you can't be here anymore. That's what I'm saying. Chat and Big G. First of all, Big G, am I right or wrong? And I can be wrong if you disagree. I just say Minka has to either take a pay cut or he can't be on the Steelers anymore, because it's more important to have a corner than it is him.
That's 150% facts. Minka, like you said, gets $18 million a year. You got to restructure him. If he's unwilling to restructure, put him as trade bait. If he don't want to get trade bait, you might be on the block, dog. Because you can get safety help in the league.
Yes.
But he makes entirely too much money.
Yes.
So, yeah, absolutely. And there's two corners that I like, B. I like DJ Reed.
Yes.
And I like Murphy.
Yes.
Out of Minnesota. Either one of those dudes, bro, I like either one of them.
Yes.
And if Minka would just restructure, the bread will get right.
Correct.
The bread will get right. And then we can get what we need to get in the DBs.
Correct. That's the whole thing about this, is that you just can't pay Minka. We've got Mr. S. Dresden. He says dress pass catcher in the first round, RB the second, double dip for D-line in the third and the fourth. We lost Big G. We'll get him back here in a minute, people. It's freezing cold where he's at. So we lost. I'm sure his Wi-Fi is messing with him. So we'll get him back in a second. I wouldn't say necessarily running back in the second round. Obviously, it's going to depend on exactly what's going on. I don't think the Steelers can wait till the third round to address defensive line. I think that would be a colossal mistake. But you never know how the draft is going to go. Things could happen with the draft, so you never know how that's going to go. Brother Man said to take cornerback or quarterback, and I'm like, whoa. We don't need no quarterback that early in the draft, or especially in free agency. We can't do that. We can't do that, man. We can't figure it out. Big G is coming back. He's coming back in. Is like I said, it's freezing cold there, man. My man Leonard, who is a member, and he says trade Minka for picks so you get younger and fill the roster. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. Hey, man, I apologize. It's freezing up here, bro.
You don't have to apologize. It's technology. I mean, there ain't nothing to apologize for. We're all good. Everybody's good here. So
yeah, my Wi-Fi said to hell with you. I'm cold. I'm cold. I want to go inside.
Correct.
Yeah.
Arch
I
Baby
agree with dude with what he said, bro, as far as like Minka. Yeah, we got to do that.
Yeah, absolutely. Leonard knows what he's talking about. He always knows what he's talking about. Arch Baby Doll says, what about the secondary as a whole? I think the secondary as a whole is fine. JPJ, if you go address corner in free agency, Deshaun Elliott is there. I mean, I said the Steelers need to extend him if you can. Okay, great. And then you got Minka Fitzpatrick. It's like, what do you want to do with that? You just, again, $18 million. It's actually $18.4 million. I just, now if they do it, they're going to do it. I just don't see how you can do that. It just doesn't make sense to me. It just does not make sense to me.
He's got to get back some of that bread, bro. He has to give some of it back. It's got to be restructured money. You can even put it towards the end of the contract or front loaded and do what you need to do. But Correct. You need to free up. I'm saying with Minka, you got to at least give me 4 back. I need 4 of that back. If you give me 4 back and I got you at about $14 million, because remember, we traded a first round draft pick to get him. Now he was outstanding his first couple of years, but he's been like disappeared the last 2 years. So,
Correct.
No, we not $4 million. No, you got to give me back some of that bread. But listen, B, I would trade him. I mean, we've talked about this, and personally, we know Steelers hold on to guys too long. I think that this year's draft class in the safety room,
you can find one
quality safeties. I would trade him and get the capital, bro. And there would be a team that would give us a second and a fourth for Minka.
Yep,
there would be, because his name, he's a top 5 or top 6 safety in the league for name wise. I don't know about play wise, but name wise. So
even if they only gave us a third, I'd take it. I'd take it in a heartbeat. Our brother man here says, just saying we need a quarterback, but not to draft one, but make a decision so we can get rolling. But they can't make a decision yet. I think everybody's so frustrated that the Steelers free agency hasn't started yet. So you can't sign guys yet. Like you can't do it yet. So it's not that the Steelers aren't making a decision. It's free agency hasn't started. So they literally can't sign anybody until it starts. So they'll get rolling. They'll figure it out. But you at least got to follow those rules on when you can sign somebody. So that's all.
But they tampering, though, B. I mean, we know.
Oh, of course they are.
There's a lot of backdoor talks and conversations.
Of course.
When we start having the Justin Fields talk, I'm going to tell you some stuff that I vetted and I know happened. Like, I ain't making it up. Like, I got feet on the floor. I can tell you it happened. Some stuff with Justin. But yeah, there's dudes talking to their friends and homeboys, dude they went to college with, high school coaches and stuff, setting up little backdoor meetings. That stuff's going down. But officially, You are absolutely correct. We can't do it yet, bro. Can't do it.
Yeah. Here's the thing. Leonard asked what Minka's cap hit is. It's $22.1 million.
Ooh.
So think about that. And I'll just ask the chat for you guys to let us know, what good team do you know is paying a free safety that has a cap hit of $22.1 million? What good team do you know that's doing that? I can't think of any.
I'll take it up a notch. Tell me a team in the last 10 years is paying a safety $22 million.
Yeah. Like, for instance, like Derwin James gets paid a ton of money. How good are the Chargers? That's the stuff you got to start thinking about. That's the stuff you got to actually think about, is that who are you paying and where are you paying? Because, again, everybody wants good safeties. Look at the Bills. The Bills had 2 of the best safeties in the league for the last 5 years. All of a sudden, the Bills said, we can't pay these guys anymore, and got rid of them. They cut them. Yeah. That's what you do. We're not going to go and pay anybody $18 million at the safety position because, look, it's good to have good safeties. But where is safety in the pecking order, Big G? Chat? Where is safety in the pecking order of you having a good football team? I'm not saying they're not important. But what I'm saying is, like, quarterback, offensive line, defensive line, wide receiver, running back, corner. I mean, it is way down the list on where you need somebody to have. And so that's my whole thing is that we just got to make sure that we're paying the right people at the right time, Big G.
B, it goes from the bottom. Punter, kicker. No, I'm sorry. Long snapper, punter, kicker, safety. I mean, it's all the way down there at the bottom, bro. You got to have dog corners. You got to have some linebackers. You definitely got to have defensive line and the whole offense. So, it's way down there on that picking order, dog. Way down there.
Perfect example right here. Leonard, Bengals let Jesse Bates, who is one of the best safeties in football, by the way. They made the Super Bowl, and they said, thank you, but no, we no longer need your services. That was after they made the Super Bowl. They did the same thing with Von Bell. Their 2 best safeties that were really good, they said, thank you for your services. Now, don't get me wrong. Their defense has been garbage since then, but they understand. We got quarterbacks. We got wide receivers, offensive line. We can't pay these people the kind of money that they're trying to make. So.
Agreed.
Let's see. We got Claude Bishop here. Now we're going to bring up Claude.
Oh, Lord.
Was trolling on Sunday, and I'll give your mock draft an A-, especially with the positions you picked.
Claude, you gave me some credit? Oh my! He gave me an A- for the mock. Thank you, Claude. I
See that?
appreciate you, man. I think Claude trying to be nice tonight, bro.
He
Claude got
wants
some.
out of the matrix. That's what
Yeah,
he
yeah,
wants out of the matrix.
yeah. I know, man. I know. It's cold. It's cold. It's cold it's a key code to get him up out of there, bro. Yeah, but we appreciate you, Claude, for the 5 makers, bro.
So that's kind of where I'm at with it, man. Like I said, the combine is coming up.
Mm-hmm.
And there's plenty of guys that we need to talk about or could talk about. You know, I went over some stuff last night. We had a little live, and I was talking about people. And here's the thing, Big G, and I'm gonna let you run with it because it's not the big names that we need to be watching at the combine. Everybody knows those guys. Those are easy. Now you want to see them perform. The one big name that I want to see, there's actually two. Different positions, but definitely positions of need for the Pittsburgh Steelers. One is Ollie Gordon.
Yeah.
Didn't have the best Senior Bowl, didn't have the best senior year, had an amazing junior year. But is he going to be in shape? How fast is he going to run? You know, I want to see Ollie Gordon because I think Ollie Gordon can be a really good running back in the NFL if he's taken seriously. The other one is Deion Walker. Can Deion Walker come to the combine? Can he weigh 335 instead of 348? You know, can he do that? What's his 40 time going to be? You know, what's his 3 cone going to be? Those are the kind of stuff that I want to see out of Deion Walker. A lot of people don't like him, think he plays too high. And he does from time to time. Didn't look motivated his entire senior year. Looked like a man that could never be blocked his junior year, and then he was the exact opposite, Big G, his senior year. So for me, those are 2 guys. Who do you got on your list? Because I know you got guys. Who do you got that we should be paying attention to at the combine?
Well, the first kid is T.J. Sanders out of South Carolina, bro. T.J. Sanders is cut different. He's built different, but his name gets lost in the sauce because of the depth of the defensive tackle this year at the combine. You know, this kid, any other year, they'd be talking about late first, early second. I think realistically, we could get a steal for him, maybe in the third or possibly even in the fourth, based on, the depth at the defensive line. But, of course, I'm going to talk defensive line, but we know we need skill positions on the offensive with the wide receiver and the running back position.
Yes.
So you say Ollie Gordon. People say I'm biased. Rock Sanders, man. Listen, Rock Sanders is 6 foot tall, probably 230-something pounds. I promise you he's going to run a sub 4.5 40-yard dash. I promise you he's going to run in that 4.4 range. And if he looks good on the field drills, and it looks like he's been really taking care of his body. I was doing an exercise today with one of the guys that I podcast with, right? And we went back and looked at college carries, how it translates to the NFL. Okay. And if you have so many carries in college, you actually do damage to possibly get a second contract, and you might only have a 1 to 2 year burst and then off the initial year from the rookie deal. So I was looking at guys that had lower carries in college that could help us. Rock didn't have that many carries, bro. He didn't have that many carries. One of the years, he only had like 50 carries. There was a little injury there, but they held him out from a precautionary standpoint because he was a freshman. So I like guys like that. And, listen, another running back that I think is a sleeper. That kid out of SMU. Smith is his last name. I like that kid, bro. I like that kid.
The only problem with him is that he's only played running back 1 year. Like, this was his first year playing running back, so he's a little on the slender side, but he's got moves. He's got good hands, obviously, out of the backfield because he played receiver, and he's fast. And he's elusive. So I'm not against it. I'm with you. So getting a look at him at the combine, S. Dresden says Joshua Farmer, D tackle, he's out of Florida State. Sleeper. He'll be around a little bit later in the draft.
5th round.
He'll be around. I think he'll be around in round 3. So
I'd say maybe 4 or 5. Because the depth of the DT, bro. The depth of the DT.
It's I think that's a guy that people have to look at. Again, he played on a bad team that was bad, but he wasn't bad. So I like him. Who else you got, Big G?
Listen, I got another defensive lineman, man. And B, you know I've been in my bag on that film, bro. I've been in my bag. So the defensive tackle Robertson out of Nebraska. If any of you guys that watch film and know exactly what a defensive tackle looks like, he looks like a defensive tackle. Possibly can slide out to the defensive end because he's tall. But, bro, when you're talking about front end strength, able to take a double team every freaking time and beat the double team, oh, yeah, he handled his business. So I'm like, listen, we ain't got to necessarily, because I know there's going to be – now, listen, if Grant from Michigan is sitting there at 21, now we got to have a conversation.
Yeah.
we got to, if he's sitting there at 21, we got to take him, bro. That's a dancing panda. That's a dancing panda. But I think that we don't have to necessarily address a glaring need for the Pittsburgh Steelers at defensive tackle that early because the depth. So let's just let the evaluations happen. Because listen, I can run off names forever, bro. I mean, there's so many. I mean, I was looking at film today on the Colorado wide receivers. I was looking at Jimmy Horn Jr. and Webster. And I'm like, bro,
I like Webster.
we can get one of them dudes. We can get one of them dudes in the 6th round.
Yeah, I like Webster.
We can get one of them in the 6th round. I'm looking. I'm like, yeah. Yep. I watched film of Seth McLaughlin, the center for Ohio State that got hurt. Seth McLaughlin would have been an All-American, probably top first 3-round pick. He could play center and guard. He's an All-American. I'm like, because of the injury issue, we might be able to steal him in the 5th or in the 4th.
Right.
So you got to look at, you just can't go with the big names. Of course, you're going to be looking for those guys.
Correct.
We ain't going to have access to a lot of them. But like,
correct.
The Luther Burdens, the Emeka Bukas, the Kenneth Grants, those guys, the Walter Nolans, yeah, those guys are going to be there. But then who are you going to steal in a second? Or who would you might even be willing to trade back in the first and get?
Correct.
That's how you build a squad, dog.
That's how you build a squad. That's how you build a squad. Or move down in the first. If the person that you want, a couple guys that you want aren't available, move back in the first round, get a couple extra, a second or an extra third, and build your roster that way. I wouldn't be mad. A man, Capricorn Steel, with the huge super chat. He supports us like crazy, man. We love him. We love everybody. Don't get me wrong, but we absolutely love Capricorn Steel. He says he wouldn't be mad if they draft 2 D linemen in the first 5 picks.
Facts.
I mean, honestly, neither would I. Neither would I. I know people get mad because we're talking defense. Think about, obviously, we got to score some points. We got to do that. But you got to stop people, too. You got to stop people. You can't just ignore your defense because your offense is bad. You can't do that. You just can't do that. And taking 2 D tackles in the first 5 picks, I wouldn't be mad at that at all because you can still address other offensive needs, wide receiver, running back. You can still address all that. Corn, you can do all of that.
Yeah.
But taking 2 in the first 5 rounds or first 5 picks, wouldn't be mad at all. Would not be mad at all.
I got to ask you a question before we go forward. Have you watched any film on that McDonald kid out of Iowa State yet?
I watched him. I mean, my podcast, Big 12 Insider, so I watch him.
I like him, man. I like him. I was looking at him today, and I was like, man, this kid is nice, bro. We can mess around and get him in the second, and we can get like Grant or one of them boys in the first, man. I'm with that. I'm with McDonald. I like him.
I mean, we got to address the things we got to address, and you don't know how the draft is going to fall. You know how that works, Big G. And at some point, you just got to say, you know what? Let's just get really good football players at these positions that we need. So if it doesn't go the way we want it to go early, don't panic, people. Don't panic. S. Dresden says, double up with Farmer and Robinson in mid-rounds 3 and 4. Mr. Dresden is on his game tonight, ladies and gentlemen. He's on his game tonight. There's some time that Mr. Dresden's been drinking that Yaki juice, but tonight he's not drinking it. He is on his game tonight, people. That way, if the Steelers could do that, Lord have mercy.
Yeah.
Lord have mercy. They would be on to something. Mr. Leonard Dodd says DB Thomas out of Florida State is possible. I don't think he is, Mr. Dodd. I don't think he's going to get it to 21. That's the only thing. I don't think he's going to make it. Yeah. If he was there at 21, I would not be mad at all if the Pittsburgh Steelers took him with their first pick. I just don't think he's going to make it. I don't think he's going to make it. So
if
unless
him or Notre
something
Dame
medical happens at the combine or something like that, but if not, I don't think he's going to be around. But if he was, yes, Lord, absolutely.
If him or Notre Dame, if Madison is available for Notre Dame at 21, and that boy run a sub 4.4, like a 4.38, 4.39,
yeah,
go get him. Go get him.
So, yeah, I like it. So, I just think we've got some needs. We've got some needs here, and we can figure it all out.
B, I got another question. You know they trying to tag us with a quarterback, dog, in the draft. I didn't heard.
I keep seeing people saying the Steelers are going to take a quarterback in the 3rd or 4th round. I don't see it.
Dog,
I don't see it.
We're not taking Jackson Dart, bro. Yeah. We're not taking Jalen Milroe, bro.
No.
We're not doing that.
No.
Now, maybe like a Will Howard, maybe in the 5th or the 6th.
Correct.
Yeah. What's the kid's name? Out of Indiana.
Rourke.
Rourke. Yeah. Rourke. Yeah. But I'm not even taking no chance on Kyle McCord. And they talking about how. Listen, I read some stuff today on how he performed because he's over there with the Palmer boys out there getting his stuff on, right?
Correct.
And they were talking about like he had a 95 accuracy, this and that and this, and all these different grades. Bro, put the film on. He played trash when the limelight was the greatest. He played against Pittsburgh this year, and he threw three pick sixes in one game.
He was better. He was better. See, this is where we differ, Big G. I think he got scapegoated at Ohio State. I think he got scapegoated. Now, he wasn't good. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that he was good. I think he got scapegoated because he went to Syracuse, and granted, the competition's not near the same in a lot of games, and not in every game because the Big Ten was trash this year too. But the Big Ten was trash. You take out Ohio State, Michigan wasn't any good. Indiana wasn't any good. And Penn State, who was good in the Big Ten? Come on, man. Stop it.
We have 4 squads making it to the playoffs.
That's a different conversation for a different day. We can get into that on a different day. My man Leonard says maybe we can get Thomas with a Laramie Tunsil video. Hey, man, I'll put it together. I'll put it together if that's what it takes to get him to fall. I'll put together Laramie Tunsil video. Get him in a gas mask bong out there and just let him drop the 21. I'm with it. Whatever it takes. I'm willing, besides breaking the law, I'm willing to do what it is that we need to do. I think the Steelers, we got a lot that we need to get done. I'm willing to make it happen, people. I'm willing to make it happen.
B, how soon do you think that we go offensive line? Because, see, I'm thinking if certain players fall, bro, we got to go get them, bro.
Yeah.
I really do believe that, man. There's certain offensive linemen, man. Listen, I'm not 100% sold on the O-line yet of how it currently stands. So I understand we might address it in free agency, but you might have to get it in the draft. And a kid that I love is Jonathan Simmons. And people can say I'm biased with Ohio State, but Simmons is a dog. Mm-hmm. Simmons can come in and start left tackle right now. Like, you ain't got to worry about it. So I don't know. I don't know about and so, see, we're in a tricky spot because the Steelers in the first round are not high enough where you can get one of them top 15 dogs. But they're not low enough where it's like you can trade back where a team would want to jump back in and get draft capital. You see what I'm saying? That's that 27 to 32 spot where a team will want to trade back in. We're right there in the middle. So you don't trade up and give up draft capital, but you definitely trade back. But there's not a lot of teams that's going to want to come between that 20 and 24, 25 range to get a player. There's not a lot of teams that's going to be willing to do that, bro. So
right. No, I'm with you. Claude says, and I thought Brian knew college football. Claude, I know a little bit of college football, brother. I know a little bit, brother. Nobody's trying to hear that Big Ten nonsense. I ain't trying to hear that Big Ten nonsense.
Hey, but listen, Claude loved Penn State, Big B. Claude
Well,
loves
okay,
this
then I get why he's got the bias because he loves a team that can never get over the hump. I get it. I'd be bitter too if I knew my team they recruited at the highest level and we had a coach that just couldn't get us over the hump. I would be bitter too. I would be. So I get it, Claude. I'm with you, brother. I'm with you, but you just need
Hey,
a new coach. You need a new
Claude,
coach.
translation, Big B, from Big B, what he just told you. James Franklin is super trash.
Super trash.
that's the translation. James Franklin is super trash. That's what he's telling you, bro. Flat out
Let's
telling
bring
you.
up the producer question, man. Let's bring up the producer question. So,
oh Lord, he got a drum roll.
it's always something.
Mm-hmm.
The ultimate draft regret. Change one of these picks, the Steelers draft. A, John Elway in 1983, but they never draft Ben Roethlisberger in 2004.
Oh.
Okay. B, Thurman Thomas in 1988, but they never draft Jerome Bettis. Well, they didn't draft Jerome Bettis.
They
He got
traded.
traded to us.
Mm-hmm.
Steve Atwater in 1989, but never draft Troy Polamalu. Oof.
Oh my God.
Keyshawn Johnson and Terry Glenn in 96, but never draft Antonio Brown in 2010.
Hey man, this is one of the hardest questions I've ever seen in my whole life, bro. We giving up dogs to get dogs.
I don't see, but I don't think it's hard for me. Mine is A. I would change A. I'd take John Elway all day, every day. And I love
Over Ben?
I love Big Ben. Elway's better than him. Elway was better than him.
Man.
Elway was better than him. And Big Ben is incredible. I love him, everything about him. But just because you love him, just like, would you not take Joe Montana because we love Big Ben?
Yeah.
Okay. John Elway is better than Big Ben. He just was, man. He just was.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing at all.
Yeah.
I'm taking Elway.
B, I think I'm going to take B, man. Listen, Jerome Bettis is my top 5 favorite Pittsburgh Steelers. Top 5 favorite. Matter of fact, 2 of my top 5 favorite Pittsburgh Steelers is on the graphic. Jerome Bettis is B, Troy Polamalu is C. But Thurman Thomas was a beast, bro. Thurman Thomas, listen, that run that he had with the Buffalo Bills was unreal, bro. And he could catch, he could catch, run. He could do everything Jerome Bettis could do from a running aspect, but he could catch, man.
Well, he had that 91 Super Bowl one, if you remember, that drive that Buffalo went on. It was Thurman Thomas. He got him down there, and the kicker just missed the field goal. I mean, Thurman Thomas was incredible. Yeah. And people don't realize that Barry Sanders sat on the bench for 2 years at Oklahoma State behind Thurman Thomas. I'm not saying that Thurman was better than Barry Sanders. I would never say that because I think Barry Sanders is the greatest running back in NFL history. But that happened in college. So it's not like Thurman Thomas is just chopped liver. Quick question here, a super chat here from our man Jason. What do you think of Nico? I can never pronounce his last name. Not even going to try. Out of Tennessee. If we wait till next year or 2, we could possibly draft him. He's 6'6" with crazy potential. He got to gain a little weight because he's 6'6", but he only weighs like 195 pounds. He's skinny, but he's got potential. We need to see more though, because once teams figured out him and that silly offense that Tennessee runs, we need to see more. We need to see more because I saw him play against Ohio State. Didn't look good. Didn't look good.
He tore his behind up.
It didn't look good. Didn't look good at all. But man, with that, I would go A because I'm an Elway. I think Elway's incredible. So
Hey, the super chat question, man. We're gonna have to go 2026 regardless.
Correct.
Right.
Correct.
Regardless of whatever, we're going to go 2026 at quarterback. So I think there's at least 2 or 3 kids that we're going to take a look at in the 2026 draft, regardless if what our record is next year. So I like Nico. I like Lenore Sellers. I like Drew Aller a little bit too, bro. I like those 3 guys. But we'll see. 2026 is way far off. We got to solve the quarterback room today.
Yeah.
We got to either Justin. Listen. Justin deserves a 2-year, $30+ million deal. He deserves it. And if he's trash, he's a bridge to you drafting in 2026 anyway. If he's not, then after this year and he proves it and he plays well, then in 2026 we don't draft a quarterback. We got our guy. So regardless of whatever, we got to do something at that QB1, bro. We have to.
Absolutely. Well, Big G, we appreciate you joining us at all. I don't know why I keep saying thanks for joining us. You're part of the show, man. You are part of the family. Yeah. We appreciate you. But besides here, where can people find you, brother?
Man, I'm definitely, man, you can check me out on the KnoItAllz Podcast Sundays at 6 p.m. live on YouTube. It's capital KNOITALLZ. We're there right now on Sundays. There's a lot of content up. We were looking today. We have almost 200 shows up, right? And you can catch me on Steel Curtain Network. I got my shirt on tonight, the Homies Podcast, as well as Pump Your Brakes. I'll be live tomorrow night on Wednesday with Pump Your Brakes Podcast with the Triple OG Shannon White, my boy Tate Boy Fresh. And we're going to be chopping it up about free agency cuts and what we might want to see concerning the Pittsburgh Steelers come when free agency is activated.
Absolutely, man. So we appreciate you guys, man. Thank you again for joining the big show. We love you guys. Thank you guys for showing up as you always do and showing out. Remember, Steelers Almighty memberships are available for anybody that wants to support the channel that way. Make sure you come and sign up because there is a ton of content for you guys to get involved with over there that everyone just can't participate in. So we appreciate you guys. Thank you. Love you, and we'll talk to you soon. Aloha.